Welcome back to Cozy Midnight Collective. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Lauren. Lower the lights, lock your doors, and welcome back to the archive.
This episode's gonna be so good. Before we open tonight's case file, we want to issue a full content and spoiler warning. Tonight we are covering chapters 1 through 17, so the first half of the book, by Alaina Urquhart, The Butcher Game. Yay! It's so good. I love this series. This episode will contain explicit plot spoilers, discussion of serial violence, murder, stalking, as well as psychological trauma. So please, we really care about you. Take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. If you're going through something right now or if you get triggered, just pause. Mm-hmm. Nothing is worth taking over your entire mental capability unless it's positive.
If you survive the cliffhanger of The Butcher and the Wren, you know that Jeremy Rose, the Bayou Butcher, escaped into the night. Now, the game has shifted. We're leaving the swamps of Louisiana behind and heading north to Massachusetts, where a brand new trail of blood is beginning to form.
Wren is on forced medical leave, dealing with the haunting trauma of her past. But when bodies start turning up with ties to New Orleans, she realizes that Jeremy isn't hiding. He's hunting her. Mm-hmm. Before we head up to New England and break down these first 17 chapters, let's draw a card to set the energy for tonight's investigation.
Woo woo. The kids have been kidding today.
There are no words. Like some days, there's no words.
They leave us alone. Like some days it's like radio silence.
No,
they chill.
I swear to God, I'm never left alone. Very seldomly. I feel like she's worse than she's ever been.
No, it's like when we're editing and like we can actually get up and do stuff, they don't bother us.
They don't want anything to fucking do with us.
But as soon as we're filming,
dude, every time it never fails. You don't even have to tell them like we're filming today or whatever. It'll just be an off fucking day. Yeah, they know.
Like the Midnight Cinema episode, that was like the Midnight Cinema episode from hell because the kids just, it was just something.
Today is an episode from fucking hell.
It's fine.
All right.
I get it.
Did you put your energy into it?
I mean, I think
Did
so.
you? Did you like say any, dude, redraw. You didn't like, perfect. You didn't talk to the deck and like,
no,
and like, put your, like in your head.
I think about it, but like, I don't say it out loud, but
no, not out loud, but like in your head, are you like, do you set like an intention?
I feel like whatever, like there'll be, when I'm going through the cards, I'm like, I'll go and then like I'll be like, no, I need to go back to that one. I feel like that one was the one that I should have put down.
Yeah.
So like that's just how I go about it. But yeah, I think these were the ones I was meant to draw today.
Cool.
I don't believe in
let go
accidents. So I've got upright 5 of Swords, upright 7 of Wands, and then the upright 8 of Swords.
So 5 of Swords upright. The victorious crow holds the swords of those he defeated. On the surface, the victory may look positive, but in the end could lead to loneliness and despair. The 5 of Swords denotes a hard-fought battle that you won, but the cost may end up being higher than expected. It could be a loss of friendship at the expense of being right, or a conflict that will leave you feeling isolated. I hope you don't have to deal with anything crazy. This one was made for you. You know, this deck was like truly made for you because some decks like I can't understand. So they're not meant for me, you know what I mean? 7 of Wands. The crow tries to defend his territory at the top of the mountain. The approaching crows below are all too eager to knock him down and take his spot. This card is a reminder that although you've made it, you must not be complacent, as there will be those who believe your position should be theirs. The 7 of Wands asks that you remain self-confident and have courage when facing challenges. It won't always be easy at the top, but you've earned the right to be there. Yes, I agree completely. 8 of Swords. The crow is caught in a cage of swords and wrapped in a long red ribbon that represents her limiting self-belief. She is a prisoner, powerless due to lack of vision or inability to break free from her self-imposed cage. The Eight of Swords is a message to take back your power by looking at your situation from a different angle. The Eight of Swords denotes a challenge due to restrictions that appear to be overwhelming or beyond your capabilities. You have the power to overcome any problem. The Eight of Swords asks that you look inward to discover the potential within. This year of my life has been a year like where my brain is like breaking. I'm thinking about a lot more reality situations being like actual possible, like where I'm like, oh, I don't believe in that. And it's like, no, I fucking believe in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We finished the Bob Lazar episode. I think there's a documentary on Netflix, and then there's a documentary also on Prime. And I really liked the Prime one. But it's interesting if you guys, do you ever like interested in the alien stuff? Or?
Yeah, I actually just read a book about like an alien type thing, and it was kind of
yeah?
interesting. And so now I'm kind of like, ooh, I want to look more into like aliens and stuff like that. But I've always like enjoyed alien stuff. I just don't read or look too much into it. It's a
fucking crazy story. It's wild. Like, I'll do a super brief thing. But if you're interested, you got to look into it. But basically he's like, I think he's either a physicist or we'll just go with physicist because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He deals with like, he would be a person to deal with like atom splitting and shit like that, right? And he worked for the government, and in 1988 he got pulled into a project. So he was transferred over to New Mexico, Area 51. And within Area 51, you have so many different like sectors. He worked at his unit was in the building S4, or that was his team name, or that was the lab name, or whatever. That's where they went into physical work. And he like goes over everything that he was exposed to while he was on his job. And like, he doesn't like name like which defense contractors, like whether it's Raytheon or who it was, like that's helping the government build, essentially reverse engineer a spacecraft. And so it's wild. And then it gets a few other big names in there because they've been literally trying to uncover stuff and go over this with the public since the late 80s. And he is the next person I'm thinking of. He was like, he's really well known. He was on the news for fucking ever. Oh my God, in New Mexico. Anyways, he's in the documentary too. A lot of people have a lot of like credit, and the government was basically like trying to, he found something, uncovered something, brought witnesses, was able to get to a point around Area 51 when he wasn't working. And he had come across these logs of transcripts for flight times. And it was always on a Wednesday. So every single week on Wednesday, around a certain time. The time always changed, but it was in the evening, like always after dark, like when the sun's down. And so he and a few, like literally two of his close friends went to check it out, saw some shit, because when he was working there, he never actually saw the entire thing work. He worked on the spacecraft, so they were trying to use him as one of the people to help reverse engineer, because they can't, something to do with like sound barrier breaking, as well as it's a very interesting story. Obviously he spilled the beans. They fucking, like after that whole thing, they saw it, everything went well. Something ended up happening on the exit where they got caught. And he was like pulled in on base, like heavily threatened on base, like physically assaulted on base, but made it out, right? Got his clearance pulled, like got his access pulled. And then they started with following him. And then there was like attempts on his life and stuff. And Anyways, it's a fucking wild story, but there's a lot of these people involved. He's been on Joe Rogan. That was a really good episode, but
I say Wade probably would know something
this
about
is
that.
chewable. It's biteable. Just it's like an hour documentary. Just watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
Anyways,
No,
I was like totally into that, so I couldn't give this my energy. First card we have is upright, Page of Swords, 5 of Wands, 9 of Cups, upright.
Page of Swords, upright. The young crow uses his strength and stamina to carry the sword through an intense energy storm. Along the way, he may have lost a few feathers, but it was a small price to pay for a chance at something more significant. The page has found his stride and approaches the goal with a steady and relentless determination. The Page of Swords arrives with a message to throw caution to the wind, get out there and fly. The time is now to take action. The page denotes movement, energy, and communication, all of which are essential for embarking on a new adventure.
That was kind of the get up I need, I think, to like, yes, go to the college. Because I have everything all in order, but I just haven't gone in yet to talk to the administrator. I know nobody wants to redo school and like switch careers, but I'm not the first person that's had to make a significant career change. So it's like, just let's fucking go. Yeah, okay, cool. You don't want to, but
yeah,
you kind of have to. So
yeah. The 5 of Wands, upright. 5 crows spar in the sky. Each crow brings with it a different color wand, symbolizing diverse histories, philosophies, and backgrounds. Although on the surface the conflict may look violent, the crows are competing in a cordial manner and not battling to the death. This card suggests that out of a friendly debate, a good amount of progress moves a project forward. The 5 of Wands may denote a meeting that brings various groups together to solve a single problem. 9 of Cups, upright. The proud crow stands atop all the riches he has been able to collect. Because he actively went after each desire, the positive energy of the universe conspired with him to ensure the fulfillment of his wishes. His mission now complete, he can enjoy a life that meets all his needs and then some. He stands there feeling a bit superior, but also incredibly grateful for his life of leisure and comfort. When the 9 of Cups appears, be ready to accept all of the abundance and joy of a wish fulfilled. You've earned it.
Aww. So get through the work and it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, universe. Now that the mood is set, make sure your doors are locked and let's open part 1.
The way this picks up in like the first, like the prologue, is from Philip Trudeau's perspective. He's watching the news and he sees that his childhood friend Jeremy is at large, pretty much. Like he's hit the road. He left a whole bunch of shit behind in Louisiana. And he's thinking about how Jeremy did leave Philip's library card at one of the scenes. And so they did reach out to him and they did already contact him and everything.
Kicked him off the list.
And yeah, it was Leroux. And Leroux was like, do you have any idea? Do you know why he would leave this here? And he's kind of like, dude, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in years. We used to be childhood friends. Yeah, he said he used to come up here with me and my family on vacations. Because he kind of, like, Philip had, like, a really good home life. Like, his family would go on vacations and they would take Jeremy along. And, like, Jeremy has mentioned that, like, those were, like, some of the only times where he got an example of what an actual family looks like, you know?
Yeah, that's sad.
And so it is sad.
Yeah.
And because he says that, like, his mom never left the house and the only time his dad would ever leave was, like, work and to go hunting.
Yeah.
And so...
And it wasn't, like, fun hunting like he has with Philip and Philip's family. It's just hunting for food, done.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Philip's dad clearly, through, like, his own words...
Yeah.
Like, invested in it being, like, a much more, like, bonding experience, you know?
Yeah, so he did, like I said, he did have a discussion with Detective Leroux on the phone, but Leroux was kind of like, well, okay, you're just stay available in case I have more questions for you.
Yeah.
And he did kind of give him, like, a little bit of a third degree because he's like, okay, why would he leave this? Like, he doesn't do anything without a reason. So he's like, obviously he left us here.
That's why Wren is like, no, immediately.
Yeah. And so Philip is just kind of like, great. Now I've got, not only do we have this, like, dark secret, which we have yet to find out at this point, they have this dark secret that ties them together. Not only were they childhood best friends, but they did something in their childhood or, like, in their, like, when they were teenagers or whatever, that Philip was like, yeah, I'm never fucking talking to you ever again. I need to get, like, I need to get my life together. I need to get as far away from you as possible. And they kind of made, like, I guess, like, a pact where they were never going to speak about it. But obviously, whatever they did, Jeremy went down the wrong path. Like, instead of, like, using it as something that scared him straight, he was like, I fucking love this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming they killed somebody. Like,
Yeah.
that's just my guess. But so Philip is, I'll give kind of like a little bit of a background because Wren, later on in this part, she does kind of do like a Facebook search on him. We find out that he is a pastor.
Yeah, and his congregation is mostly
women
that are beautiful and just like throwing him compliments and handing out money.
He's supposed to be really good looking.
Like, all of this stuff. So I mean, there's obviously like there's men there, but it's majority women, and I think he plays into it because it's also his livelihood, and like that's what fucking people do.
Well, he's divorced too.
Yeah, they recently
Wren did like a whole Facebook deep dive.
Divorced.
Yeah, they're recently divorced. He has a son with his wife, and it seems kind of like he might, like, from what Wren gathered from like the wife's posts, like, because she posts like, you know, song lyrics and like that type of thing about like moving on, and so she's kind of getting a sense that because he's like this handsome, popular with the ladies kind of guy, that maybe
he
Philip had an affair, or like maybe there was something going on with like that led to
church.
the demise
something
of their
crazy with the church.
Yeah, that led to the demise of their marriage. So Philip is like, he's feeling like, I'm probably going to be hearing from Jeremy pretty soon, and he's kind of like, I don't want anything to do with this. So
yeah.
So as far as like this first part, that's all we hear from Philip. And we are going to go straight into now, like, where Jeremy's at. So Jeremy...
he's making his way north.
Yeah.
And he's landed himself in Massachusetts.
Well, first, he stops in West Virginia.
Along the way, we're going to talk about it.
So he stops in West Virginia, and he basically had marked, like, because he's a planner. He's, like, very type A.
Yeah.
He was, like...
he is fucking more than type A. There is literally no word...
so
that you can put this man in.
No, he's just very particular, and he's a planner basically, which I guess good for him in this scenario, because he at one point had driven to West Virginia, and he went into the woods and he buried a kit pretty much, and like he like had marked like a rock and like the tree, and he like did like the degrees and all that, whatever, and like his actual footsteps. Yeah.
There was
he
like
counted his footsteps.
How many was it? Do you remember? I don't remember. Like 39 or like 36 footsteps.
Yeah, so he's like 34, 35, 36. And so it's like when he
God,
reaches
that was right.
Yeah, when he reaches 50 paces.
Okay, hold the fuck up. High five me.
Yeah, that was
the
good.
fuck.
Yeah.
Leave me hanging here.
So no, once he got to 50 steps, he was like, okay, it's right here.
Yeah.
And so he digs, and then he pulls out a bag, and it's got hair dye, money, which is $10,000 left by his mom when she died, and then a bunch of different kinds of weapons, so like knives. I think there's a gun in there. He's got like just like a bunch of random
shit for survival,
murdery shit. Yeah,
murder. I'm on the run kit.
Yeah. And
never thought I'd need this, but I'm a fuck up, and I'm glad that you're on the run and people know your name.
Yeah. And he basically decides to, like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna use this hair dye. It's like brown hair dye. Dyes his hair. He grows out his stubble. He like even does his eyebrows, like everything. And so he knows that they're going to be looking for he's got like like his blonde hair is like his like staple. Like everybody knows he's a blonde, and he's a very handsome blonde.
Chiseled face.
And beautiful blue eyes. Like he's just like a very beautiful person to look at.
It's like those people you do like double take. Like, wait, I'm not just like passing over you. Like you deserve like
a Brad Pitt type.
Figure out how God made this really quick.
So Jeremy has dyed his hair. He is now a brunette.
Yes.
He's
looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, but he goes to like this like random like stop to get like a burger. He needs something to eat because he's like he lost a little bit of weight because he's been like starving, and he's been on the
like
run.
Fucking hunting or not hunting. He's been hiking.
Yeah, he's pretty much walked
literally going
from Louisiana to West Virginia.
Yeah.
And so he meets up with this. Well, not meets up. He finds this guy in this restaurant, and he looks to be about the same age as him. He looks a little bit grizzled and like just kind of like tired. It looks like he's on the road a lot, and Jeremy pretty much like picks him out. He's like, he's close to my age.
Yeah.
With my new hair dye job, I could probably match his ID pretty closely, right? Yes. So he makes this big show of like getting on his like phone or
He needs
getting
a
on
new
his phone.
identity.
And he's like, he goes and stands near this guy's table and he's like, okay, babe, like I'll be there soon. You're not going to have this baby alone. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be there for you.
I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. And then
I love you so much.
Yeah. Then he goes outside.
Yeah.
And then he
but on the way,
follows the guy.
Oh, yeah. He passed at his table.
The guy goes out to his truck and we figure out his name is Tom. And he's hearing Jeremy and Jeremy's like, fuck, like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, you know, and Tom's like, you good? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, my wife has gone into labor and she's doing like a home birth and I need to get home. Yeah. And he's like, but my car broke down on the highway. Like I had to walk here. Like, I'm just like, I need to get home. Like I can't go back for the car and like have somebody do this. Like I need to get home to my wife because she's having a home birth. I need to be there. And Tom's like, well, I can give you a ride. Yeah. He's like, I'll give you a ride. Let's get in the car. And Tom is like very, like he is very kind of closed off. Like he's not giving off like, I'm really eager to give you a ride. Like he's not giving off like a,
like he's a killer.
like a hero, like kind citizen, that type of thing. He's just kind of like, I can't leave when I've already heard that his like wife is going into labor. So he's kind of like,
he's super like, that's a good
hesitant.
But he's a good-hearted man. Yeah. Because you can tell, and in conversations, well, obviously, Jeremy gets in the truck with him, and they start heading in the direction of his house. And, you know, this is moving along here. But, like, you can tell he has a good heart because in the conversation, he does go over, like, that he does occasionally give people rides, you know, that are, like, really in a burden. Yeah. And so...
Well, and that was the thing, too, is, like, Jeremy had brought up a funny, weird sentence where he's like, I won't hurt you or something like that, and the guy's like, oh, should I regret picking you up? And he's like, well, technically you didn't, I'm not a hitchhiker, you know. He's like, you offered me a ride and, you know, I'm going to see my wife. He said, but when did it start being unsafe to pick up hitchhikers? And this is all Jeremy's like thing. And he's like, you know, in the 50s and 60s, people were picking up
he goes
hitchhikers
on this
left and right.
Tangent, man.
But then he's like, so is it because of people like Jeremy Dahmer, or not Jeremy Dahmer, well, Jeffrey Dahmer, and like, you know, all these other people, BTK, and like the guy's like kind of like getting uncomfortable. And he's like, how far away to your house?
Yeah, and he's like, falls into the trap.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, Jeremy's telling the truth.
He's toying with him, too, because he's pretty much trying to give him the thing
psychological terror.
Yeah. His thing is like, he needs to know that he chose this fate. It wasn't like I forced myself into the car.
Yeah. Where he just realizes how manipulated he was to his literal own demise.
Yeah.
But no, oh my God, what are the odds? Yeah. You know? And it's just, you're unlucky, dude. Yeah.
And so Jeremy pretty much leads him... Yeah. No, I know. He's just, it sucks. And it's like, he's literally just doing a kind thing.
Prey, like the way that went down, it's fucked up.
Really fucked up.
And then you like hunting him like that? No. Give him a fair shot. Like, go up 1-to-1. You really want to kill somebody, then put your fucking back into it. Yeah. Why are you using guns and crossbows and knives and stuff? And it's like, if serial killers feel so bad and like, then... do something.
Yeah. Do something.
Fucking pussy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. Use your balls or whatever. Like.
Yeah. Like, why are you going for an instrument?
Yeah. Well, and like what pisses me off with.
You have two attached to your arms.
Yeah. What pisses me off with Jeremy is like, it's not enough just to take somebody's life.
Right.
You have to toy with them psychologically or else it's not the same for you.
It's not it's not a full count.
Yeah.
And that's, know what I mean?
So annoying. And literally, we'll get there, but.
Tell me about it.
He basically leads this poor guy to this like old, like it's not an old, but it's like kind of like a decrepit neighborhood where there's like, it's kind of spaced apart. The houses are set a little further back.
Probably, what are they called?
I don't know. It's just kind of like
assisted housing.
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, kind of like Section 8 almost.
Yeah,
but it's not. They don't look like bad houses.
No, Section 8 is not. Have you ever been through Section 8?
Yeah, no. I'm just saying like
they're not bad houses.
He describes it as like they're not bad houses. Like it sees like they take care of their
gang territory.
Yeah,
it's not the people. It's not the homes. It's not their kids.
Yeah.
It's the area, the gangs live in the area, and there's always gang activity going down on their street.
Yeah, well, and he says, like, his thing is, like, why he chose this neighborhood is because if somebody hears something, they're gonna mind their own business, pretty much.
They don't want to get shot.
Yeah, so it's like they just don't want to. Not my circus, not my monkeys, not my problem.
They don't want to get hurt. They're
it's not my
protecting
thing.
their family.
Yeah. So he leads this guy to this like house that's kind of set further back. There's like a single light on or whatever, and so it looks like he could possibly live here. And so he's like, "Well, thanks for the ride."
Yeah.
And then Tom's like, "Yep." And then he's like trying to get him to get out of the car because he's uncomfortable at this point. Like Jeremy has like said some weird shit, and he's just kind of like, okay.
He's probably panicking.
Yeah,
he's like his heart is probably
get out of my car.
Going. Yeah. Let's read it for you guys. Starting off in quotes from Tom. "All right then." Tom doesn't even look at Jeremy as he says it. His eyes stay glued to this strange home on the hill, a home that he would have never known existed. As his instincts implore him to run, his hands grip the steering wheel like a lifeline. For a moment, the silence hangs in the air. Jeremy doesn't immediately respond, and Tom doesn't look for a response. Jeremy sees his eye flick very subtly over in his direction to see if he is making a move to leave. "Listen, I appreciate the ride." Jeremy unclicks his seatbelt and pushes his open hand toward Tom for a handshake. It hangs there, unshaken for several moments. Tom recoils very subtly at the invasion of his space and rubs his stubble-covered chin. The fingers of Jeremy's left hand dance over the blade under his leg. He keeps his eyes trained on Tom, willing him to either look at him or answer the handshake. For what feels like several minutes, Tom remains silent and still. After one deep breath in, he grabs Jeremy's hand and gives it a strong shake. That's all it takes to seal his fate. As Tom attempts to pull his hand back, Jeremy uses the leverage to yank him toward his body. Caught off guard, Tom slumps over the center console with a jerk. "What the fuck?" Tom growls out, his breath bordering on hyperventilation now. Instinctively, he reaches up to grab Jeremy's neck, slamming him back into the headrest. Tom's strength comes as a surprise. Even using his left hand, he holds Jeremy with a conviction that comes only from desperation. Oh, it's so fucking sad. Mm-hmm. Jeremy can't help but smile at this new challenge. He locks hard on that right hand, not allowing Tom to free it, but Tom still tightens his grip on Jeremy's neck, bearing down hard with his non-dominant hand. Still holding the knife at his left side, Jeremy quickly brings it up, stabbing it into the underside of Tom's bicep and tearing the flesh open in one quick motion. With a primal yell, Tom moves to grab the wound with his right hand and Jeremy releases it. Before another word can be uttered, Jeremy flips the knife into his right hand and jabs it directly into Tom's heart. He pulls it out and hits it again and again, as Tom struggles to fight him off. But he's at a disadvantage with his body locked into his seat and his wounds begin to take their toll. The sounds are loud at first. They are constant and harrowing, filling every inch of the truck's cab with the music of pain. Jeremy's heart hammers in his chest like a mechanism, urging his arms to move harder and faster. It's warm, this feeling. It flows through his limbs and brings with it a feeling of true purpose. I'm going to stop there. Mm-hmm. So that was so fucking sad.
Yeah.
And right in the heart.
And so he basically tosses Tom into the back seat of his own truck. And then he drives.
And it's like, I have a new ride.
Yeah. So he's gonna take his truck, and then as he's disposing of Tom's body, so he drives to like this like middle of nowhere place. Mm-hmm. There's like woods, and then he says it's kind of similar to a swamp, but like obviously he's further up north. But yeah, it's kind of like a boggy type area where it's like there's water, and then there's like these rocks. And he basically finds like a crack in these rocks, mm-hmm. where he's able to shove Tom's body, mm-hmm. into this crevice, mm-hmm. but he ends up like breaking like his bones,
legs,
like
and
his
like
legs
you can
to
see
like
the bone like sticking out,
kind of fold him in.
Oh yeah, and he's like, oh, look at that. Oh, being dead, it's so crazy. Yeah. Like nothing hurts. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah. Are you fucking stupid, mm-hmm. Jeremy?
Yeah. And then there's a point, too, where as he's getting rid of his body, like, he gets done and he's kind of, like, walking back. And then he notices that there's, like, this weird shack.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the shack and he's, like, first thing he notices is, like, there's, like, a bad smell. And so he's like, oh, my God, like, maybe this belongs to, like, some kids or something like that. He's like, I wonder if somebody saw me get rid of this body because I'm going to have to take, mm-hmm. care of them, too.
Yeah.
But he goes inside sees that there's like dead animal parts, and there's some in like jars. There's there's like a raccoon, there's like skins from animals, and then as he's looking even more, he's finding that there's human parts in jars. Some are wrapped in cloth. There's eyes, fingers,
Mm-hmm.
pieces of dead skin,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of like,
Huh. Never would have thought.
yeah, somebody else is out there that's similar to what I do, and he just kind of is like,
it's weird that he's collecting them in the jars.
yeah, but he's also like fascinated by it because he's like, okay, he's kind of like, kudos, pretty cool.
Like, oh, I won't fuck with you.
And that's it. He just sees this like random shack with a bunch of shit in it, and he does kind of wonder, like, I wonder who's doing this. Like, is it?
And are they human?
Yeah, are they human? Like, what's going on? But he's just kind of like, well, all right, I gotta make my way.
He like literally is like, respect.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you're so fucking weird.
So weird.
Like there's some like unspoken like fucking like policy between murderers.
Yeah. Now let's jump to Wren.
Okay.
So Wren is going through it right now.
Oh, my girly.
She's on leave. Her job was like, you need to go on like you need to go on leave. You need to take a break.
Yep.
She's like antsy. She's having nightmares of like, Jeremy, obviously, like he's like kind of toying with her even in her dreams. She's antsy because she wants to go to work. She needs to do something. Yeah. Like she can't just sit around and relax.
She's bored. Yeah.
She's like, but she's also like traumatized. She's very much so like she's having to re-go through all of this trauma that she's already done so much work to
get out of. Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, he could be anywhere. He could be doing anything. Some people think that he's dead. Like some people are like,
they're
he's
like
dead.
sold.
And she's like, I don't
She's like,
know.
I feel like I would know if he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Richard, her husband, is like kind of worried about her, but he's also like still, again, super awesome, supportive husband. Yeah. Detective LaRoe, in his own way, he is also worried for her. He's just like, we need to like LaRoe, I guess, has been trying to get her to go back out to Jeremy's house to kind of finish closing up the crime scene. And she's kind of been dragging her feet on that because she's like, I don't want to go back there really. And then she is going to therapy. And this doctor is Dr. Roy. And she's been seeing her since Wren first changed her name. So like since the whole, like her whole past with Jeremy happened, she's been seeing this doctor for years.
Yeah.
And so this doctor knows anything and everything there is to know, except for like one crucial detail, which she will share with Richard here in a little bit. But she knows everything. And she's kind of telling her, like, I know you need to go back to work. I understand how you're feeling. But she's like, you also need to release some control. But you also need to face some of your past. Like, obviously, you've done a lot of great work. You're doing amazing. But you also, like, it might be good for you to actually go with Detective LaRoe to go close out that crime scene. It might be cathartic for you. It might be calming for you. And you'll be able to, like, really tell. And
it'll just grip you into a reality that you need to start living in as well. You know?
And so she kind of takes that to heart, and she's kind of like, okay, I'll go with LaRoe. And Wren does say, like, is it crazy of me to, like, assume that he's still alive?
Yeah.
And LaRoe's like, I'm thinking the exact same thing. He's like, I don't think he's dead. Yeah. There's nothing to point.
If he was dead, they would have found him.
Yeah. So
he's not. There's no body because there's no crime.
Yeah.
Right.
So Wren does meet LaRoe at his house, or at Jeremy's house. And, they go through some stuff, and she's kind of like getting a few like...
The plant.
She's just got some like visions coming back from like what happened to her when she was there. She's kind of like remembering like the basement where she was held, the grounds where she was hunted. She does go out to like the spot where...
She starts having some flashbacks as well. Yeah. So flashback is when... you are transported back to the event and you actually, your body has like physiological changes that occur because you're literally in fight or flight mode. And it's literally happening again, but in a moment that's in the future. You're not in danger. You're just living your normal life. But then all of a sudden you're back in the scariest moment of your life and you're fucked. Like, flashback stuff.
And so, she notices that like his house is very clean. Again, he's always been a very meticulous person. He's got like a bunch of house plants, and there's like, they're all dead because hasn't been there to water them. And then Well, he did overwater them before he
yeah,
left.
yeah, it was overwater.
But then there was
But the
one
fern
plant.
lived.
There was a fern. And, you know, ferns thrive in, like, more humid climates. And so because there was so much water from these other plants and they kind of gave off, like, that whole, evaporation, like the whatever. So the house was, like, a little... It just basically thrived while it was still... Like, while these other plants are dying. And so... She's kind of like, is it fucked up of me to, like, take this plant? And Laro's like, I think you should. And he's like, I'd kill it. But he's like, maybe you should. Maybe this is, like, you know, you both... And he's not, like, a very philosophical type of person, but he's kind of like, it's kind of like you know? You both were able to...
Survive Jeremy.
Yeah. And so she takes his plant home.
Yep.
And so... Her and Richard, again, they're kind of going through this, like, new reality. She's like, okay, I'm ready to get back to work, you know, and in the middle of the night, she gets a phone call from an old friend of hers, and her name is Corinne, and she's a detective in Salem, Massachusetts. And Corinne says, like, hey, sorry to bug you. I know you're on your leave. You know, you're probably, you know, trying to relax. And Wren's like, no. What do you got? You know? And she
literally tell me.
And she says, I think your guy is here.
Yeah.
And Wren's like, well, what do you mean? And she said, well, we found a woman. She's not doing so good right now. She's, you know, but she may be able to point us in the direction of Jeremy. And like there's some similarities.
And she's like, oh, like she couldn't even believe that there was that she was in the hospital and surviving.
Yeah. And so she's like, can you get here? To maybe take a look, talk to her and see what we have. And maybe this might point us towards your guy. Right. Yeah. And Wren at first is like, let me think about it. I'll let you know.
I'll get back to you. Yeah.
And so Richard wakes up and they're kind of talking about it. And he's kind of like, we're going to Salem, aren't we? And Wren's like, yeah. And she said, but before we go, I need to tell you something. And so she says, like, obviously, you know, everything that happened with Jeremy. But what I never told anybody, like nobody.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows this.
Ever. Oh my God.
Jeremy and I
it's like you're
had some romantic feelings for each other before obviously before he showed his crazy, right?
Yeah.
But she said, like, he was very charming and, like, he was quiet, but when he did talk, he was, like, very interesting. She said he was a little odd, but I liked that. I liked that he was odd.
Yeah.
And she said that, like, they kissed a few times and, like, he was, like, very, like, lovey towards her. And she was kind of like, I liked him back up until what he did. And she said, I hate that he was able to woo me pretty much. And then he pulled me into this trap, like, you know, using, like, the sweet nothings and, like, the romantic feelings. And then he manipulated me into this trap.
That almost killed me.
And she was like, it was really hard for me to separate the romantic from the traumatic.
Yes.
And so she's kind of like, he's obsessed with me. She said he's extremely obsessed with me. And she's like, it goes much further than just the psychotic killer angle. Like, it's also like a lover angle in a weird way.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's never going to let me go. And
he is obsessed with her.
He's obsessed with her. And he does say, there's like a point where he says, I wrote it down. He says something about her being like his dark soulmate or something like that. Like, it's like,
I still think there's more we don't know.
Yeah. But
I mean, for sure, we're getting another book.
Oh, so yeah,
we got the other book. Yeah.
She says, like, she's unsure if they were real, like, if his feelings were real or if he, like, just used them to manipulate her. You know, he was always obsessed and infatuated with her. And he, like, knows everything about her. He says she's like a dark soulmate tied to him despite their distance. So it's like he feels everything about like everything that she's doing. Like, he says he can feel it. And then there's like another one too where it says there is an unparalleled bond between a killer and a victim, whether they survive or they die. And that's something that Jeremy is also thinking
that's
too.
So creepy because it's such a huge life event, very similar to like giving birth, but in obviously like the opposite direction of things you want to go. But that is true, and it's creepy.
Yeah, so Richard's like, I've got plenty of... He's like, I get why you kept this to yourself. Like, he said, I can't tell you for certain whether or not he actually did have feelings for you, if it was all just his tactic for manipulation.
She also felt like probably the most vulnerable from that manipulation too, because she, you know, you probably feel like, how did I
fault. Like, how
fall
did
for
I
that.
not see?
And so many women do, and it's like, no, this is not something you should have had to worry about.
Yeah.
And fortunately for like our daughter's generation, we have seen this happen, and you can recognize a pattern. And, you know, hopefully if our daughters ever come across a fucking creepazoid, you catch it early when they're young in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, stay the fuck away from my kids, or I will cut your dick off.
I mean, some people are just so good at it, and that's something that we're like realizing with Jeremy is he's really, really good at. He's a chameleon. He can literally change his faces.
Oh God.
So easily, and like it's
and
kind
like
of
you have no idea what they're like plotting.
Yeah, it reminds me of the movie that they did like on Ted Bundy, where it was Zac Efron.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like against it because they're like, he's too hot.
Yeah, and he's too
charming.
Also fall into that role. Do you know he his mental
such a
state?
Good job,
yeah,
though.
But it fucks the actors up, dude.
But at the end of the movie, when
like they can't do that kind of stuff for a while.
Yeah, when he's having that, like it's at the end of the movie, like the last 5 minutes of this movie, and his girlfriend's talking to him, well, his ex-girlfriend at this point, and she's like, they said that they couldn't figure out what you used to like cut off this one girl's head. And she's like, what did you do? And
when she's talking to him while he's in prison,
and
right?
he's still like
Didn't
trying to
he
maintain.
Write it on
Yeah. So it's like crazy because like and this just goes to show how good his acting was.
I literally didn't.
But his acting is so fucking good because he's going from like this like sweet baby face, handsome like stranger or like guy to his like
somebody
his
she
face,
literally does not.
His face
recognize.
Like literally shifts
it
to like
over.
This like evil fucking look, and then he just writes hacksaw at the bottom of like the glass or whatever, and I was like, this is literally what Jeremy does. He goes from being like this cute dimples, you know, boy next door look to
like who I really am.
I'm going to hunt you. I'm an animal, you know? So it's like
it's primal.
Yeah.
You know,
he's just disgusting. And so, so Corinne asked Wren, hey, can you come out here?
Yeah.
He may be responsible for this victim we have. She was strangled like within an inch of her life. Like she's, if she's not going to survive very much longer, but she might have information. Come out here, come help me. Richard was basically saying like, I can't tell you whether or not he did love you or not.
Yeah.
Or if he just like was able to shift back and forth. And like you were saying, like so many women fall victim to this type of thing because some men are just really good at hiding it. You know, you can look for the signs, but they're not always like that.
They're not always like bright red flag waving.
Yeah. Sometimes it stays hidden for years, and some people don't realize.
Sometimes it it stays hidden forever.
So
I'm sure there are so many that literally got away with it. You literally just normal ass people you would never know, and they've done something and gotten away with it.
Yeah. So it's just it's sad, and like Wren is just kind of like still like that's one of her major trauma points is that she's like, I don't know if he actually does care. Like if he did care for me, and if I literally just fell for it. Cause like, and she's like, I'm so stupid pretty much for falling for it. But so yeah, they're going to head to Salem. Richard was like, okay, look, I've got time off. Let's go to Salem. Let's go on vacation pretty much, you know? And she's kind of like, let's do it. Going back to Jeremy. So Jeremy at this point is in Massachusetts. He's driven this guy's truck, poor Tom. His truck is up in Massachusetts now. And he's scoping out some houses, and he finds this house.
Not to like rent or like buy or like
no, he's just gonna
pay
go
for in cash and not fuck with
house.
anybody. No, he has to always fuck with somebody wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Whatever he does.
So he assumes that this is like a vacation house for like this family. It looks like they were there recently, but not too recently. Like they've been like it's been like a couple weeks since they've been
it's a vacation
back.
house.
So, and this is like getting into, I believe it's like October, November around this time. So it's like winter time.
Fall.
It's cold. Yeah, fall, winter. It's cold. It's not like it's like a summer house where everybody's like, you know, having fun, whatever. So
at
it's
a
like,
lake.
Yeah. So he's kind of like, perfect. I can stay here for a few days, right? Until while he figures out his
where
plan.
he's gonna stay.
Yeah, and his like grand scheme and like what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And so he goes into this house. He's like looking around. He sees like a bunch of family photos. Like, and he kind of makes like comments about how each room, like the living room is like red. but then the couch is red, and then the rug is red, and then they kind of follow this theme throughout the whole house, where it's like the kitchen is
and then
blue.
it gets to yellow, and he fucking
hates
loathes it. He's like, he's so pissed, and then he's like, "Please, dear God, tell me that this paint from the kitchen is not upstairs too." And then it's literally everywhere upstairs, and I'm like, "Good, you bitch-made motherfucker."
And he hates it, like, and he says like it almost hurts his eyes because it's so bright.
Good.
And he literally is like leaving like little traces that somebody has been here because he wants to fuck with these people when they come back.
The fireplace, he uses the fireplace and like leaves the ashes.
Yeah.
And like the wedding ring, what about, did he take it
and like put it on the mantle?
On the yeah. He moved it.
He found like
did he do something with the fan? He was pissed off because they like don't use their fan, right?
Well, he was worried about turning it on because he was like
the dust.
It wasn't dusted.
He's like
the rest of the house
never
is
fucking
taken
clean
care
it.
of. Yeah.
They never have anybody take care of it. So if it does get turned on, we're just like blown away.
Yeah. And he's like, he's like, that'll kill my allergies. Like, I can't do that.
I'm like, God, I wish it like went off just somehow.
So,
but yeah.
Yeah, he does find.
Like, how picky for somebody who's fucking burglarizing a home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Idiot.
He does find like he assumes like the man of the house, he finds like he's got like porno mags, and so they're like they were hidden.
Like, some are like bent, and he's like, I wonder if he jacks it to her while she's gone or while she's
while his wife is gone. Yeah. And then he takes the magazines and puts them on the downstairs mantle because this person like hid them, but then he puts them like out there proudly so that like when they get back, that's going to be a topic of conversation for this poor family. And so he pretty much sets this up as like his like almost kind of like home base. He like takes a shower. Yeah. He found like milk and like coffee that like wasn't quite expired yet. And so he's honey. Like in honey. Yeah. So he's like makes himself like little drinks, and then he takes a moment.
They had stock that was good. Yeah. Although slim pickings, it was better than like nothing. It was like moderate. Yeah. So he was comfortable.
So while he's staying in this house, like he still hasn't quite decided if he's gonna make this like his town where he's gonna wreak havoc. And like I found it interesting that like this is what pushed him to choose it. He found like this there's a coffee table, and they have like coffee table books or whatever. So it says it's a book boasting on an unparalleled look at the best hidden gems in the Berkshires. So he's like looking through it, and then he sees that there's like a Berkshire UFO incident. And so he kind of dives into it, and he finds it really interesting that like 250 people reported the same UFO on the same night. And he's just kind of like looking at it, and he's like, this town has got like a weird little history. Yeah. And he's kind of like
intrigued.
It's interesting. Yeah. And so he says like he goes further into the book, and then there's like an ancient waterfall, and then he's like finding like different hidden gems. There's this like really famous house in this like area, and then
is it in the neighborhood he's in or no?
No, it's like kind of in the woods. It's like a hike up into the woods, but it's this older house. It's like a manor type thing that burned down a while ago. But like people will go and like look at like the shell of the house, and like it's just like a very interesting place. And I think
the architecture.
I think it used to be a castle. Actually. Okay, yeah. So he's kind of like, oh, this is perfect. Yeah. This is a perfect place for me.
Yeah, because like this is totally unoccupied.
So he goes.
Brilliant.
It's called like the Titus Mansion or something like that. Yeah. He hikes up to this Titus Mansion. He's looking around, and he's like, I love it in here. And then there's like spray painting of like the devil is on there. And he's just like, oh, this is really cool. And he's kind of looking around. It's like the end of the day.
Not like, oh, who's been here?
Yeah. He's like, this is just like a perfect spot. Yeah. He's like, this is a perfect spot to like start my shit. Yeah. Right. And he's like,
this is good for my home base.
Yeah. And he's like looking around, and there's like people here or there, like, but people are starting to leave because it's sundown. And then there's this couple, and their names are Taylor and Craig.
Poor guy.
So
Jeremy, they're
like influencers.
Yeah, they're influencers, or they want to be. They're just like appearing to Jeremy to be very like conceited and like selfish
fake.
and fake, not only with like them and between themselves and their followers, but also like between one another. They're doing like very weird things that like they're okay in my mind. I think they're just focused. Like they obviously came with a purpose. They wanted to visit the site, take photos, also take photos of themselves for their socials, it's fucking normal nowadays. So, like, whatever. But it super annoys Jeremy because...
He's an old soul.
Yeah. Because he's a bitch. And it doesn't matter because you do you, bro, and everybody else can do everybody else.
Yeah.
But he doesn't see it that way. So,
Yeah.
He decides, like, he's going to choose them to be his first victim.
And again, they're beautiful. Like, they're a beautiful couple. He's handsome. She's beautiful. And he's like, yeah, this will capture attention.
Yeah. And them being, like, influencers and having, like, followers and everything. Obviously, the reach there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, but what you pointed out, beautiful white people do go quicker and everywhere.
All of it is literally, he says he's literally trying
Publicity.
to lure Wren out. He's like, I know that she won't be able to resist.
He wants her out there. He knows she will be out there. He doesn't realize she's there, motherfucker.
Yeah. So he basically waits until everybody else leaves. It's dark. The girlfriend, Taylor, is like trying to get Craig to hurry up because she's like, it's dark. We still have to hike back to the car. Like, we need to go. And he's like, just a couple more pictures. And he's kind of like, Jeremy's like, if he had just listened to Taylor, like,
they'd be alive.
He's trying to also kind of not necessarily excuse, but he's trying to say, like, they could have been gone, but they chose to be here.
Yeah,
they
so
chose to put
he's
themselves
just trying
in my
to justify that he can kill them because there was opportunity, but fate is mine.
Yeah, he's very big on, like, fate. And he basically has his crossbow again.
I know, that's stupid.
His weapon of choice, apparently.
I know, and it's, like, so scary. What the fuck?
It's like, as they're, like, taking, like, a picture or something, he shoots Taylor. And
in the throat.
And she dies in Craig's arms. And Craig is like, oh my God.
He couldn't
like,
even process.
Babe, like, yeah. He's, like, frozen.
He was in shock. He couldn't even... So Jeremy described it as, like, animalistic, like just sounds of, like, sadness and then, like, whispering to her. And he didn't register that she was murdered, that the scene is not safe.
Yeah.
Like, none of that was piecing together whatsoever. When she died and the life did leave her and he finally processed it, by that time when he stood up and went to run, isn't that when Jeremy shot him?
Yeah, so I've got it right here.
Yeah.
And I'll read, like, a quick excerpt real quick.
Cool.
So she dies, and then it says, then it's like someone hits a reset button. As Craig realizes danger is nearby, Craig's eyes suddenly dart around frantically. He gently lowers Taylor onto the concrete and stands slowly, backing away from her as if she's on fire. Dropping his bag, he takes off running, jumping over a retaining wall and into the woods. He's smarter than Jeremy gave him credit for. He had been sure he would run into the field. So he thought he was going to run into the field because they were talking about, should we go through the woods on the trail or should we cut through this field to get back?
Yeah,
It'll be quicker to go through the field, right?
Yeah.
But this guy runs into the trees.
Yeah. And that takes Jeremy aback because he was like, oh, I didn't anticipate that. You're actually, like, smarter than I thought that you were. You know?
But it's like a guaranteed shot straight to the parking lot where their car is.
Yeah.
And so... he's watching, and then he knows that, like, Craig's eventually gonna trip. So there's, like, this big log.
He sees the log, right, that he runs right over. Or not over, into.
Yeah, and then he does, like, look over his shoulder because he can hear Jeremy coming behind him. And he trips over this log. And then he, like, hits the log with his shin, toppling over it and landing partially on his face in the rocky path. His cheek tears open, and he skids to a stop before lifting himself up as quickly as possible with his injuries. Jeremy takes the opportunity to shoot the crossbow. He misses again, reloads fast, and takes another shot. This time, the bolt hits Craig's ankle, eliciting a satisfying snap as the bone fractures.
Oof.
Craig is on the ground, grasping at his leg and howling like an injured animal. So he's just kind of looking at him. He's playing with him.
Yeah.
And then he tells him, he's like, He's like, you probably should have left when your girlfriend asked you to.
You probably should have listened, dude.
He even, like, does this whole, like, speech about, like, how, like, you're the man. Like, you should have protected her. Like, that whole type of thing.
Yeah.
Not, you have a fucking crossbow. Like, shut up.
I know.
But, and Craig's like,
not like,
you.
We're not out here fucking hunting and murdering people, you fucking lunatic.
Yeah. And so Jeremy's like still like he's still playing with him, and there's like a point where he's like, so what kind of man are you? And he's like, you're the kind of man who gets so much satisfaction out of an image of his own face that he allows someone to impale his girlfriend with a crossbow bolt. And then
that's so unfair, Jeremy.
So then he catches up. So like Craig does like get up and starts to run again, but he catches up to him like really, really quickly because he's got a fucking fucked up angle.
Yeah.
And he basically, so he says,
I don't even know how he can run. It's just
he's just terror. Like he's just trying to get away.
Fucking.
So he easily grabs Craig from behind, pulling him down hard as Jeremy readies the knife at Craig's throat. Craig reaches up, fighting with whatever strength he has left.
Is that when he pulled the shirt over?
Yeah, he pulls the back of Jeremy's shirt up, trying to hood it over his face. For a split second, it works, and Craig wriggles his body free from Jeremy's grasp. Jeremy recovers quickly, using his ability to work in the dark to his advantage. He reaches forward as Craig struggles to stand. Enraged, Jeremy grabs the man's hair, twisting a handful of brown curls with one hand. Grabbing a stone in his other hand, he brings it down hard on Craig's temple. Mm-hmm. The sound is a sickening crack. Now a crumbled heap on the forest floor, Craig coughs and sputters, reaching out to grab anything around him, unable to focus. And then
so crazy.
Jeremy sits on his knees for a moment, catching his ragged breath. After he has calmed himself, he places a palm on Craig's forehead, dragging the knife slowly and deeply across his throat. And Jeremy makes sure he hits bone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So yeah, he killed him.
Yep.
And so
he's like, I'm here, everybody.
Yeah, there goes.
Hi, Massachusetts.
Poor Jeremy and Taylor. They're dead just like that. Okay. So not only did Jeremy just kill this couple, he also went around this town and he's leaving magnolias on the doorstep of each business on like this main street. Mm-hmm. And he
wants
knows,
it to like smell. Mm-hmm. He wants to start fucking with her.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because Wren used magnolias in her wedding bouquet. And so he's like, oh, this will definitely get her out here too. And so he's basically setting the scene for that. And he's just kind of waiting at this point. And then he does kind of think about Philip every now and then because he's in this town where they used to hang out all the time as kids. And there is like this abandoned theme park.
Yeah.
That he and Philip used to love going to. Like, they would use, like, Ouija boards in this place. And, like, it's just, like, an abandoned, cool
He said something about
spot.
letting
like, he really likes being
so many,
there.
like, spirits out or something.
Yeah, so he really likes going there. And so he's kind of, like, setting up, like, okay, this is going to be, like, the next big stage.
Spot.
That will get Wren out here. Mm-hmm. So he's preparing for that. So going back to Wren and Richard are now in Salem.
Yeah.
They immediately go to the hospital. And in between, like on their flight, the victim had died.
Yeah.
And Wren meets her friend Corinne in the morgue at this hospital. And she's looking over this girl. And right off the bat, you'd notice that she's been strangled. Like pretty roughly. Like it's not just a simple. I have notes. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So the victim was strangled. So she's noticing like her neck, right?
Yeah.
It's in bad shape. And she says that she was garroted or garroted.
Oh, it's a garrote.
Garrote. Okay. So she was garroted. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that?
Famously, like Gacy would use this, but basically it's like, I don't know how to explain it other than like it is used for strangulation. When you twist it, the way it turns, if you're trying to get out of it, it ends up like applying, not to get out of it. It just applies more pressure at a certain point, and so it can, it remains intact and killing. A garrote is a handheld device or mechanical apparatus used to execute or assassinate a person by ligature strangulation. The word originates from we don't care about that, but let me show you what it looks like. So it doesn't look like anything
Oh,
fancy.
okay. Yeah.
But we'll upload
I'll
a
put a
picture.
picture.
But this thing can do so much damage.
Yeah.
It's a rough death.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's what Wren says. So
Yeah.
she's looking over this woman. Her name is Andrea. She's 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like looking at her, and she's a beautiful woman, and she doesn't have to look at her very long. Like, she literally just has to put her eyes over her like really fast, and she's like, yeah, this isn't him, you know?
Yeah.
But she does say, I'll just kind of go over like her findings pretty much. So Wren immediately sees the deep set of ligature marks around her neck. They are crisscrossed and stacked on top of one another, all in various stages of healing. It's clear Andrea went through something very few can even imagine.
Sad.
So she says, see these? Wren points to the scratches that tick under the ligature markings. Corinne leans over, moving the light above them even closer to get a better look. Yeah, my God. Those are fingernail scratches. She was unbound for some of the strangling, and she fiercely tried to loosen whatever was being used to strangle her. And so she had scratched like very deeply into her skin. Wren says, the fact that she wasn't bound tells me a lot. Jeremy Rose doesn't like to be bested. He wouldn't have let her fight. He craves complete control. And Corinne says, that's interesting. You think it's someone known to her instead? And Wren says, I do. She was comfortable with this person, at least in the sense that they didn't feel the need to tie her hands. Kind of further into it, she's distracted by how deep the lacerations are on her neck. She lifts Andrea's head, moving her black hair away from the nape of her neck. Just as she guessed, there is a deep purple mark on the back of her neck. The mark is bruised, and there are narrow cuts into the skin. Little hairs at the nape of her neck have been shortened and stick out like newborn baby hair. And that's when she said that she was, you said, garroted. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, Wren's like, yeah, no, this wasn't him. He would not do something like this. Like it's similar brutality, but he would have tied her up, or he would have made her weak before doing this. So she's like, it's not him. And so she says, you should probably look into like boyfriends, friends, whatever. And so they do that. And so they're kind of waiting on some information. She's like, Corinne says, I'll keep you in the loop. We have some interviews that we're going to do. We're going to talk to her sister, and I'll get back to you. So her and Richard are kind of walking around Salem. They're getting to know the area. And then she gets a call from LaRue. And LaRue says like, hey, we found some bodies in Berkshire, it's like a few hours away from Salem. And he's like, I'm pretty sure this is him.
Yeah.
And Wren's like, well, I'm in Massachusetts.
So what's up?
He's like, okay, well, like, let's meet. And she's like, all right, cool. So she tells Richard, like, hey, we're going to head over there. But before they get in the car to go over there, she gets a call from Corinne for one. So a few things happen. She gets a call from Corinne. Corinne tells her that they did look into Andrea's romantic life.
Yeah.
She had been in abusive relationships with a couple of men, but they didn't seem to be responsible for her murder. However, she was recently dating a man, and this is coming from her sister, named Phil. They don't know what he looks like. They know that she's just dating a Phil.
Yeah.
And they don't know what his last name is.
Okay.
And she's kind of like, that's interesting that it's Phil.
Yeah.
In her mind, bells are ringing, and she's like,
who the fuck is Phil?
Jeremy is friends with Philip.
From childhood.
And he also lives in
Massachusetts
area.
Yeah.
So she's like, maybe it's a coincidence.
Is the second time Philip
that he's come up. And so she's like, maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. But her and Richard are like, okay, we're going to Berkshire.
Yeah.
But before they do that, even she's like, she sees a tarot card place, and she's like, you know what? I need to go in here. I need to get my tarot read.
Yeah.
So she goes in, gets her tarot read.
Yep.
And she first pulled out the 10 of Swords, and it said to stop ignoring the signs or she will stop receiving them.
Yep.
And Wren's like, okay. And then the other one she pulled was the Tower reversed. And that one was foundation is crumbling. It has to fall in order for something better to take its place. So again, it's pointing her towards like, do not ignore your intuition, your signs, like everything that's coming to you
is happening.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna be lost pretty much. And so she's kind of like, all right. And then she did have a situation where she was in like the graveyard, because she really likes graveyards. She finds graveyards to be calming, and she likes especially like historical graveyards. And her and Richard are kind of looking through, and like they see some of the graves of like the famous judges from the from the witch trials, and she's there, and like again, Wren is still very traumatized, and so she has moments when she's like in public or when she's like at home where she feels like she's being watched, or she feels like Jeremy is near.
She's just like constantly on edge.
Yeah, and so like there's a point where she like looks over her shoulder and she sees like a guy is like staring at her, and she's like,
it's Jeremy.
It's Jeremy. Like her mind is like, oh my God, he's watching you. She's like kind of tripping over herself. And then come to find out it's just a guy that was like a part of like a tourism group or something like that. So she's like, oh, I need to calm down.
I literally am. She's terrified.
Yeah, she's terrified, but she's like, okay, let's just get on the road.
Collect it.
Let's get to Massachusetts. Right. Now going back to Jeremy, and this is like kind of closing out part 1. Jeremy finds himself in a bar, and he's looking for his big ticket victim, you know? And he's like looking around, he's buying some drinks. The bartender, I will say, like was like kind of suspicious of him because he did
not like him.
He did not like him at all. And Jeremy was like trying to be charming again, and he's like looking around and he sees this woman, and she's a beautiful woman, big, beautiful, curly blonde hair. She's just gorgeous. Everybody in the bar seems to be like around her because she's just like commanding the conversation. She's educating people on like the importance of bees. Like she's very passionate about bees, and she's just like a very glowy, happy, healthy person. Yeah. And at first
her aura is like light.
And there's a point where like at first he's kind of like, maybe I don't need to go after her. Like maybe, I should keep looking. But then he's like, oh wait, she's actually perfect because she will get attention. She's beautiful, blonde, this will be so good for the news.
She's doing something that's of such a good cause, like people wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, people are going to eat this shit up pretty much. Yeah. And so he tells the bartender, hey, can I send a drink her way?
Or he said, like, what kind of girl is she? Judging her.
Yeah.
He's, like, totally just making snide remarks
like she's about like a tree hugger.
He's assuming what kind of a person she is when he doesn't even know her. And he, like, rudely says to the bartender, like, what do you think one of those kind of girls would drink, basically?
And the bartender at first
is like, you're a fucking prick probably right away. And,
and Jeremy has to kind of, like, really work at this. Yeah, this is something that, like, because Jeremy is really good at just, like, getting people to trust him and, like,
so when he
go with him, and even when he talks to this woman, she goes back and forth. Like
she does.
She goes
because he goes back and forth with wanting to be his true self.
Yeah,
and it's just awkward. Yeah, because when you're when you Jeremy are your true self is when she's like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah, she does. She's like, she goes like, because like when he starts to show his, like you said, his true self, she recedes.
Yes.
And then when he starts to, like, make up his persona, she's kind of like, oh,
and the only reason she sticks around and continues to give him try after try is because of the way he looks, which sucks because, DNA and evolution, like, you need a partner, right? And so, of course, she's like, if you're single, like, there's stuff that we do are subconsciously that is just, like, natural. And so she probably, oh, God, just listen to your gut. If you're, like, something's off, like, don't make up reasons why. You can let that pass. Yeah. Nope, you gotta go, like, right away. Yeah. Ain't got time for that.
And he basically, she comes over, like, because he sends over, like, an Aperol Spritz or something like that.
Spritz, yeah.
And she's kind of like, what makes you think that this is, like, my drink? And he's
I
just
love
like,
it because I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, she's, like, spunky, like, immediately.
And she claps back, and then it's honestly, like, whatever he's
kind of entertained by it. Yeah.
She, like, already is on it.
Yeah, he's, like, equal parts annoyed, but also, like, okay, like, all right. Like, I actually kind of have to work at this. And he's enjoying the challenge of it all. Because he likes a challenge.
Yeah. I think she does, too.
Yeah. So
I think that's why she's sticking around, too.
So she does say, like, she's a very spontaneous person. She's like, life is short.
Could you imagine if this turned out to be, like, they get together and fall in love and start murdering people
together? I was
like,
kind of like, wait, what if he decides not to kill her? And like, because like the next book is like Butcher Legacy, and so my mind went straight to like kids, and so I was like, does he settle down with this girl? Like, I don't know, like that was just like my head. So I was like, okay, but then Yeah, he doesn't. So,
Yeah, so.
he's talking to her. They're kind of going back and forth. And then she kind of gives him the impression that she's like DTF, right?
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like,
Yep.
okay. She's like, and so they're talking about like spontaneity and like being just like going on adventures and
she
adventurous.
loves to do that,
and she
but
likes to just
he
do random
doesn't.
shit.
But he's like, this
and
is
he's like, well,
perfect.
okay, well, how about we be spontaneous then?
Yeah.
You know,
He
he's like,
loves
have
it.
you ever
Or he
heard of
doesn't hate it, he loves
these?
it.
Yeah, he's like, have you heard of this?
It's like the easiest kidnapping I've
Yeah.
ever done. She's
Yeah.
willingly coming.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like she had dropped her purse and like her mace had fallen out. And so like he was able to grab the mace before she, like, and he gathered her stuff and put it back in her purse or whatever. And so he hid her mace. And then
I was so sad when that happened.
Yeah. And then her friends are leaving and one of her friends is like, you good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. And she's like, hey, don't forget,
mace.
your phone is at my apartment. And she's like, oh, that's right. Just bring it to me tomorrow. And so she's like, I'm always like forgetting to like plug in my phone or whatever. But she's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But she's like, I also don't like being tethered to it. And so again, free spirit, fun girl.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, well, let's go on an adventure. And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, have you heard of this abandoned theme park? You know, and there's like a history behind it. And she's like really? Like this late at night? He's like, come on, it'll be fun. What happened to saying you loved adventure? And she's kind of like, you know what, you're right. I do love adventure. Let's go. And then as they're leaving, she does say like, I have mace in my purse. And he was like, well, he's like, oh, don't worry. You won't have to use it tonight. And I was like, this fucker. So,
dude, if that was me, I'm just hoping at
I
the
would have checked
same
my purse
time
again.
that it was there.
Yeah. Like, I would have been like, it's in my hands.
Oh, well, now that you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Nope, can't go.
No, I would have just carried it myself. Like, or I would have had like my purse
I would want
out.
it in my hand probably for the first half of the day.
Because sometimes like if I have like a crossbody bag, I'll put my hand in there just because. So it's like if I have something like that, I'll have my hand in there on it, especially if I'm with a stranger, you know?
I put mine like literally right on the, well, I have it on this new, but I need to buy another one, but like literally like connected right to the outside.
Yeah.
Like as close as possible.
So
you're like hope is useful in a situation, but yeah.
So it's dark out. They go on this like walk to this place, and this place, like it's like I said, it's abandoned.
Yeah.
And he leads her in there, and I kind of forget how it got started, like where he's like, I'm actually a psychopath.
You should read.
He has her lead. He's walking behind her, and he's kind of like, oh, we're gonna go to this back entrance, and she's like, well, do you have a flashlight?
Yeah.
And he's like, he reaches into his coat pocket, producing a small mag light. She's kind of noticing, like, this is kind of actually really dumb of me to go into the woods by myself with a man I just met. But he's, like, kind of giving her just enough to make her kind of let her guard down a little bit. And then there's a point where he's like, oh, I always come prepared. And, like, before she can answer, he smacks her in the nose with the flashlight. So he, like, breaks her nose.
Yes.
She's bleeding profusely. And she starts to cry, and she's trying to like get into her purse to find her mace, and he's like, what are you looking for? And then he takes her mace
and maces her
with her own fucking mace, right? And I was kind of like hoping that he was gonna get, because like when you spray it gets you too. Yeah, but that didn't fucking happen, unfortunately.
Oh my God, isn't that so sad?
Yeah. And so she's like tears streaming down, nose is broken, she's fucking maced, and he basically leads her into like under the grandstand of the fair, and he's kind of like going on, and he's like giving her the history of this place, and he's like, a tornado blew through this, tons of people died, I love it here, can't you feel the spirits? Like this is so much fun, we're having fun, aren't we? And she's kind of like, fuck you, like, and he's like, she's talking about how, like, I don't care when I die, right? And that plays into her whole spontaneity thing, right? And he's like, oh, so you do care if you die, like you don't want to die tomorrow, pretty much. And she's just kind of like, why are you doing this? I didn't do anything to you. And he's just kind of like, again, toying with her, playing with her. And so he basically comes up with another hunt, right? He asks her, like, would you live forever? And she's kind of like, no. And he says, well, why not? And she said, well, I'm assuming that everyone else doesn't get to live forever in this scenario. And he's like, kind of like, he's like appreciating that she's like,
thinking about
fighting back, and she's also just kind of like, she's also being honest too.
Yeah, she's actually playing his game.
Yeah. What I'm thinking for you is that you wouldn't choose to live forever because you don't want to be without your loved ones. And she's like, yes, I don't want to live forever if it doesn't mean I get to live forever with my family.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's really sweet. And he's just kind of like, so again, he says, so you don't want to live forever, but you do want to live until tomorrow, at least.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would literally, I would pee myself, you guys. I would literally be like, oh my God.
So she just starts crying again. He hands her a gun and he says, do me a favor. I can't flick that switch while holding your arm. Can you turn the safety off for me? And she's like, no. And he said, turn off the safety or I use the real gun that's been at my waist the entire night. So he had handed her a paintball gun, right? And he's threatening her. He's saying, like, you need to play this game or I'm going to shoot you with my real gun, pretty much. Yeah. And so he says, thanks for being such a team player. Let's go over the gameplay. First, I'm going to let you go. Once you take off, I'm going to try to tag you with paintballs. If I tag you twice, I get to use the real gun for my next shot, and your time in the game will be coming to a swift end. Following me so far?
Oh my God.
And so she's crying, and he's like, I'll take the crying tacit as tacit compliance so far. There is a rule, though. If you make a sound, I use the real gun and end the game without completing the gameplay. And don't run into the road. Promise? And she's kind of like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a road just like right over there. Right? And so she is kind of like, okay, she's nodding. She's like, all right, I'll play. Right? And so then he's like, all right.
He does that on purpose. And don't use that road over there.
Yeah, he's basically.
That's like the devil that's like, don't eat that apple.
He's literally pointing her in the direction of the road. He says that he set something up over there. So that's fucking great.
So he wants her. He definitely wants her.
So he says, Jeremy notes the sudden change in her face. He smiles, knowing that she took the bait. The very mention of a reachable road gives her hope. That's exactly what he was looking to do. He wants her to run for the perimeter, and she's easily led to her own demise. Are you ready to play, Charlie? Without hesitation, he pushes her to the ground, slipping the glasses over his eyes and grinning wildly. She hits the floor hard, slamming her arm into the wood at a strange angle. She instinctively grabs at it for comfort, but he advances on her, looming over her like an impending storm. Charlie scrambles backward through the crumpled papers and desperately tries to create distance between them. Her breath is mixed with choked sobs. Her eyes burn and blur even in the darkness.
Oh, that's so sad.
As she finally gets herself to her feet, she takes off running into the stairway. Jeremy watches as she blindly trips down the loose steps. She stops briefly, listening for his footsteps. He knows she can hear nothing. She begins to catch her breath, hiding herself behind an old concession booth, but he won't let her rest. Lifting his weapon, he shouts into the stillness, "Run, rabbit." And that's where we leave off.
Here's the thing. You left a bad impression with the male bartender.
He's going to remember you.
Because of that, and it's the end of the night, and the bar was emptying. Yeah, you're going to have fucking issues.
Yeah.
I'm so glad people are stupid.
Well, it's like, I know that he's trying to lure Wren, obviously, to kill her, but I'm also like, what's your end game?
What is the end game?
Are you going to kill her and then you just disappear into the darkness?
And then, like, you're done being a murderer?
Or are you going to keep going?
Or
and
it's like loose ends.
Like, because, like, at this point, too, they're going to be able to recognize that you're a brunette now. Yeah. So they know what you look like when you're blonde. They're going to know what you look like when you're a brunette. And then it's like,
gonna start getting plastic
Philip
surgery.
can only get you so far. Like, I obviously don't know the extent of like what happened between them when they were kids, but like Philip is only gonna get you so far. And then it's like, what's your end game here? You're gonna kill Wren and then what? Or are you gonna take Wren and you guys are gonna disappear and whatever? Like, what are you gonna do? So that's what, like, I don't know. Like, I can't even give like a prediction because I genuinely don't understand
why he's killing. Not like why, but like
yeah, because we know why, but it's like, what is he gonna do once he gets Wren?
What's gonna satisfy?
Yeah,
like why is the energy all focused to this?
Yeah,
it clearly isn't because he's killing people along the way, but like he's just obsessed. He's just obsessed.
He's very obsessed, and like, I mean, okay.
Do you wish that you could be better so you could have tried to be with her, Jeremy, or like what's? But he's never honest.
Yeah.
Even with himself, so we don't get that as the reader.
Yeah.
Because he can't.
Yeah.
He can't be.
Yeah. So I literally don't know where this is headed or
Yeah.
what he's going to do. Like, I mean, I know what he's going to do.
I'm so ready for him to die.
Yeah. And so it's like,
I hope he dies.
obviously
in book
he
3.
doesn't in the end of this
I
book. 'Cause
know.
we got a third one coming
No,
out.
yeah, I know.
I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do?
I hope he fucking dies.
So yeah, I'm excited to finish this book because I'm like, I want to see what happens with this. Like, what happens with Philip? How does Philip get roped into this?
Yeah.
And then also, did Philip kill Andrea?
Well, that's a wrap on part 1 of the Butcher game.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy is playing a very dangerous game in Massachusetts, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
We'll be back next week to break down the second half and conclusion of the book. So it's chapters 18 to the end. So make sure you catch up on your reading.
Don't forget to keep sending in your wild, mind-bending conspiracy theories for our upcoming Midnight Confessions episode using the link in our show notes, which I will be fixing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren and I are prepping a massive deep dive.
Yep. If you want to see our visual chapter cards and exclusive August reading guides, come hang out with the collective over on Patreon.
Thank you for spending your midnight hour with us. Sleep well if you can.
And remember,
some stories are meant to haunt you.
Bye.
Bye.